Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I'll be showing you how to make an audiobook in Python. So nowadays you must have heard a lot of people using audiobooks to read books and many other documents and stuffs like those. But they are pretty expensive and hard to find. So I have found a way to make a very easy code of Python through which it will be able to read any PDF file. So for making this code, first of all, we will require Python, of course, and we'll also require an code editor. Now, a code editor is an program from which we can write our code and execute it. In my case, I'm using VS Code, which is a very famous code editor for writing Python and many other languages in program. You can also use ideally, which is an inbuilt, which comes along with Python installation. But I don't recommend using that because that's pretty much low profile. You can also use Sublime Text, PyCharm, but for this case, I'm using VS Code. So after you've installed an code editor and Python, you have to install the modules. Now the modules will help us in making this code. So the first module we'll require to install is called PyTTSX3. Now this is an module from which we'll be able to convert the text in the PDF into speech. So when so if we execute our program, then it will be able to extract the text from the PDF file and it will be able to convert it into speech. So first of all, we have to install that. And to install that, simply you have to just go to your terminal, which is the CMD or PowerShell or whatever you want. And then you have to simply write pip install pyttsx3 and then just click on enter. Now I'm not going to click on enter and show you the entire process because I've already installed it, and for my case it will show that that this module is already installed. The next module that you have to install is called PDF2. Now this module will help us in extracting the text from the PDF and it will also help in sending it to the PyTTSX module, from which it will be converted into speech. So to do that, simply you have to just again write pip install and then write pdf2 and then just click on enter. I'm not going to click on enter because for my case it's again installed. So after you've installed both the modules, you have to simply import those modules. Let me just write in statement showing that we are going to import the modules. So I'm just going to simply write importing the modules. So as soon as we do that, we can start importing them. Simply have to just write import pyttsx3 and it will be easily imported, and then you have to click on enter and write import by pdf2, and that way this module will also be imported. Next, now we will start writing our main code. So let me write another statement stating that. So main code starts here. Okay, and now we can start writing our code. So first we'll have to write a variable. You can name it anything. For my now I'll name it book because we are going to extract a PDF file and it will be a book in my case. So before making this, I would like you to download an PDF file and move it to the folder in which you're writing this code. In my case, I have a file named HEHD101, which is a PDF file that I installed, and then I have moved it into the folder in which I've written all my Python codes, including this audiobook that I'm writing now. And be sure to move that PDF file into the folder where you're writing this, otherwise the code will not work. And then you have to write equal to, and then you have to write open, from which it will open the PDF file, and then you're gonna open the brackets, and in single colons you have to write the name of this PDF file. So the name of this file is HEHD101.pdf. Do not forget to write the PDF.pdf, otherwise it will not work. And then you have to give in comma, then you have to write RB. And in that case, it will tell the code that which file do I have to open. Then just click on enter. Then you have to write a variable PDF reader, which will help our code to read the PDF file. So this will simply just read the entire PDF file, and then we have to write py pdf 2 dot pdf file reader, and then you have to simply open the brackets and write the name of the variable that we mentioned above here. So um, and that way it will tell the program that this is the file that I want to read. Okay, so it will tell the py pdf module, so that this is the book that that you have to read. And then you have to just click on enter, and then you have to write pages. Now this will exactly tell us that how many pages does our PDF file have. Okay, and that will help us in reading the entire PDF. And then you're going to write equal to PDF reader, reader dot num pages. And then you can have to click enter, and then you have to write print, and then the name of this variable in brackets, which is pages. Then you have to simply click on the run button, and we'll now see that whether our code is working till now or not. So it's loading. Then it will tell how many pages does this file that we have brought over here has. Oh, so it show it to us. It has 23 pages. So this file over here has 23 pages. So till now our code is working perfectly. It's executing perfectly, but then also the work is still now not finished. We want this code now to extract the text from the PDF and convert it into speech. So then I'm just going to click on enter, and then I have to simply write speaker to py ttSX3 dot init, and then you have to give brackets. You don't have to write anything in the brackets, just give the brackets. And in this way it will activate the py ttSX3 module, and now we can do anything in PyTT-SX3. We can ask it to extract the text and convert it into speech. And then we have to write another variable named page. You can name it anything you want. And then you have to write equal to PDF reader dot get page. And this will help this will ask the py pdf module to extract the words from the text, and just extract the words from the text. And then you have to give the page from which it will start, or the page it has to read. So I'll give the number 0, because in Python, if I want to start from the page number 1, so in Python I have to write 0. And then I'll just simply click on enter, and then I'll write another variable named text, which then I will mention as page dot extract text, and just close the brackets without writing anything. Then just click on enter, and then you have to give the exact variable that we have written over here, the speaker one, which will ask the PyTT-SX3 module to take all the text from this PyPDF module and convert it into speech. So simply we have to say speaker dot say, and then you have to mention the name of this variable in the brackets, text. And then you have to click on enter. Then you have to say speaker dot run and wait. So we will just So it will just extract all the text from this extracted text from the PyPDF module will be sent to the PyTDS63 module to be converted into speech, and then it will show the output when I run it. So let's just simply run it and see if it works till now or not. So first we'll show the number of pages, that is 23. In some time it will start speaking. This is taking a little time.
General learning a language means using it for a wide variety of purposes.
It stopped.
Language is best acquired when attention is focused in meaning, not on form. Words and phrases not closely related to objects and action remain.
So as you can see over here,
empty and lifeless to young learners. Language comes alive when presented in meaning-making contexts. Words/phrases that are used to accomplish many useful purposes follow a certain system inherent in the language. Learners become familiar with the system through continuous.
I'm sorry, I didn't share the sound. That's why you were not being able to hear the sound of the text.
Exposure to the language in meaning-focused situations. Interaction, discussion, and sharing of ideas among learners provide opportunities that elicit real trademark information about them and their experiences and opinions. Encourage learners to work in pairs and small groups and let them go beyond the textbook by providing a variety of language inputs for spontaneous and natural use of language. Build on the exercises given in the textbook and design more tasks/activities in keeping with learners' trademark interests, needs and surroundings. Employ free response exercises, with more than known possible response. Promote reading habits through story reading, not merely teaching stories as texts, story retelling, choral reading, shared reading, etc. Create class libraries for exchange of books and shared reading. The library may also move with children to the next.
Understand that the code is working perfect.
Higher class. Poems need not be taught line by.
So now what we have to do is that we have to actually there is a so the code is finished, but there is a problem in the code. The problem is that I cannot go to a particular file and then I'm going to then I can ask the program to take that file and convert it into extract the text and then send it into PyTDS module and then convert it into speech. Why? Because I am mentioning only one file name. So it cannot be that I can mention two files together, because it cannot be two files together, obviously not. But so the question that I asked now can easily be solved by changing some things in the code. So what we have to do is that we have to import another module which is known as tkinter. Now you don't have to install it by writing pip install tkinter, because if you install Python, then it easily comes with them. You can read the module of tkinter if you want to. The documentation is easily available on the internet. So simply what we have to do is that we have to use a module, a tkinter, and we want that tkinter module to show us the file dialog. The file dialog is this file explorer from where we store all our files and all. Okay, so what I want the code to do is I want it to open the file explorer so that we can take any PDF file from our folder, whether it be in the recycle bin or anywhere. So what we have to easily do is that we have to just import that module. So what we have to do is I have to write import. Sorry, I don't have to write import. I have to write from tkinter dot file dialog. Now this is the module which will help us in opening the file explorer, and then you have to write import. Wait a minute, I just have to give a space in between file dialog and import. So after that you have to give the multiplication sign, otherwise it will not work. And after that you have to just remove all this text that we have written after the book variable. So just delete all that text, and yeah, I easily have to just write ask open file name and then give brackets without writing anything. And what this code will exactly do is that it will ask this tkinter module to open the file explorer, and from there we can pick any file and then it will continue this process. And then what we have to do is that we have to give a for loop. Those who know a little bit also about programming, they must know what is for loop. Even if you don't, you can go to internet and go to the internet and search file loop, for loop documentation. You can search for entire Python documentation, and then you can read about for loops and while loops and all the loops in Python easily. So just like that, we have to give an for loop statement so that this code that we changed over here runs perfectly, which we have to state as for, oh sorry, okay, for num in range 0, which is the number of pages. You can just remove this that we have written below, and you can change that to num. And let's come back up above here, and then you have to write pages. Okay, and that way it will and that way it will execute the this code perfectly. Then let's just select all this text below the for loop, and then I'll just press tab so that I can put it in the indent for this for loop. Otherwise it will it will show us an error when we run the file. So we have now completed our code perfectly. It's perfect, but and now let's just run it and see if it works or not. I click on run. um, it just takes a little time. So we'll just take a little time. Yeah, so there it came. I will just take a little time. Yeah, so it's loading, and yeah, now first it will show, oh, we have an error. Okay, so the error is that I forgot to put this symbol in front of this 0 pages after the brackets, because if we do not put that, then it will not be able to run the while loop. So I've solved my error now, and let me just continue. Yeah, so here it showed us the tkinter module, and now it's opening the file dialog. So our program is working perfectly now. So now I can open any folder from here. I'm going to open the exact folder that I had opened in the previous code. So I'm just gonna click on that file only. And first shows the number of pages in that file, and then it will start speaking of yeah, so first it show the number of pages, then it will start speaking. Yeah, it will just take some time to read because I
General learning a language means using it for a wide variety of purposes.
this.
Language is best acquired when attention is focused in meaning, not on form. Words and
Okay,
phrases
that's
not closely
perfect.
related to objects and action remain empty and lifeless to young learners.
Delete that.
Language comes
Yeah,
alive when presented in
yeah, so it stopped. So in this way we have completed our code perfectly. Now in the now many of you might ask that that I do not prefer the voice of the code, of the person who's reading to be male. So how do we convert it into female? Now that's a very unusual doubt, but we can solve that. So what we have to do is that we have to do changes in this code down here. So all you have to do is that we have to remove this speaker um, function that we have written over here. Let me just delete that. And instead of that, we have to write engine, which is equal to pi tts x 3 dot init. Then you have to write in brackets sappy. Oh, sorry, it's sappy 5. Let me just change this in engine variable into speaker, because I wanted to be speaker only. Okay, so now it's correct. And then what we have to do, we have to click enter, and then we have to write name another variable named voices, which will help us to select the voice. And then we have to write equal to, and then we have to write engine dot get property, and then in brackets you have to write in single colons voices. So from this, it will ask the PyTTSX module to open a specific voice, but then I have to name that specific voice. So we are going to do that in the next line. In the next line, we will write engine, engine dot set, sorry, set property, which will set the voice property, and then in brackets we have to simply write in colons voices, and then we have to give a comma. Oh, sorry. Then we have to write give a comma, and then we have to write voices, and then in square brackets. Now we must know that what's a square bracket. In square brackets we have to write one. So one is the name of one a voice. I'll tell you what is that. It's actually a female voice. And then you have to write .it. Yeah, that way it will fix our problem. Okay. Now let's just run it and see if it works. Oh, I did an error over here. I just named another variable when I had to name it as speaker only. Otherwise, it will not work. So now just run it and see if it works. Yeah, starting. It just takes a little time because when screen sharing and recording and also sharing the sound, so it gets a little slow while running it. Yeah, yeah. So it's now loading, and first of all, it opened this tkinter file dialog module from which we have to select our file. I'm going to select that file only which I selected previously on. So HHD 101. Then going to click on open. Then it will first show the number of pages. Now let's see if the voice is changing. Oh, there is a problem. Okay, so the problem is that this message over here, engine, is not defined. So what we have to do is that we have to change it into speaker, because the variable named here is speaker. Actually, I read it in the documentation that it should be engine. That's why I named it engine only. So we have to change the variable. We have to change the text according to the variable. Let me just run it again and see. Wait a minute. Just click on run and see if it runs or not. It started. So now it's loading. Yeah. Now let's see if it works or not. First of all, it will open the file dialog. Yeah. So it opened the file dialog. Let me just select that file that we had selected previously. Then let's see if it works or not. 23 pages. Let's load. Let me see.
General learning a language means using it for a wide variety of purposes.
Now the
Language is best acquired when attention is focused in meaning,
is
not on form.
the thing
Words
that
and phrases
the
not
voice
closely
did not
related to
change.
objects and action remain empty
So
and lifeless to young learners. Language comes a lot.
yeah. So I guess we have done an error. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to change this into engine. I'm going to change all these names into engine because I read that in a documentation that it should be engine. Let me change it into engine and just write engine. And also over here below also you have to write the same thing. Just write engine. engine. Yeah, that way it will work. Oh, sorry, I did an error here. Should be engine, not engine. So now let me just run it and see if it works or not. So I opened a new terminal. Yeah, it's starting. And if this time also it does not work, that means to say we have to change the number of this voice that we have stated over here. So this number one that I've given over here, I think so I have to maybe change it to two, maybe zero also. So if it does not work, we will see later on that if it does not work, we'll see. So first of all, let me select the file. I'll show you the pages first. Start reading.
General learning a language means using it for a
Okay,
wide
back at
variety
me
of
again.
purposes.
So now the
Language is
only
best
way to
acquired when
stop
attention
it
is
now
focused in meaning, not
is
on form. Words and phrases not closely related to objects and action remain
changing
empty and
the
lifeless to young learners. Language comes.
just a minute. Yeah, I stopped the terminal now. So the only way to stop to change this now is to changing the voice ID. So now I've changed it to zero. Now let me see if it works now or not. If it does not work now, so then I guess so I have to maybe no, I guess I have to maybe change the voice to two or three maybe. So like that, you have to keep on experimenting. Always remember that coding is all about trial and error. So don't be sad if, if it does not work. So I change that into zero. Slowing. So
General learning a language means using it for a wide variety. Language is best acquired when attention is focused in meaning, not on form. Words and phrases not closely related to objects and action remain empty and lifeless to young learners. Language comes alive when presented in meaning-making contexts. Words/phrases that are used to accomplish many useful purposes follow a certain system inherent in the language itself. Learners become familiar with the system through continuous
I'm just in the well, I guess so that
exposure to the
will
language in
not stop
meaning-focused
until
situations.
unless I
Interaction,
so that
discussion,
one
and
means that
sharing of
yeah, end
ideas
of
among
video
learners provide
video.
opportunities that
If
elicit
you
real trademark
think
information about them and
that
their experiences and
that what
opinions.
should be the
Encourage
correct
learners to work in
method
peers and small groups and
according to
let them go
my
beyond a textbook
opinion.
by providing a variety
Um,
of language inputs for
and I
spontaneous
hope
and
you like
natural
this
use of
video.
language.
But let me
Build
just stop this. I'm just
on the exercises given in the textbook and design more tasks/activities in keeping with learners' trademark interests, needs and surroundings. Employ free response exercises, with more than known possible response. Promote reading habits through story reading, not merely
yeah, so it stopped. So I hope you like this video. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. And if you and also press on the bell icons to get new notifications for my new videos. Thank you for watching this video, and please do not forget to write in the comment section that what should be the correct voice ID for this audiobook to change it into female. I hope you liked it. Thank you. Bye bye. See you next time. Stay healthy, stay safe, and especially kids, take care of yourselves.